Hi, my name is Maria Berry, and my social problem is the legalization of recreational marijuana. So let's get started. So, what is marijuana? Marijuana is greenish gray in color. It's the shredded leaves, stems, seeds, and flowers of the hemp plant. It is sometimes brewed in teas and mixed in with other foods. Now, there's two kinds of marijuana. There's recreational and there's medical. So recreational is the one that we've all heard of. It's the one that people smoke to receive a high or relieve stress. They hand roll it into a cigarette, and it's called a joint. Medical marijuana is legal, and it's used in medicine to help with different medical conditions. Through years of scientific research, it's been proven to relieve chronic pain, prevent PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, stimulates appetite for people with AIDS, controls nausea, relieves intraocular pressure associated with glaucoma, and improves the symptoms of Crohn's disease. So the history of marijuana goes a little something like this. So it's the most common used illicit drug. And with the past month, there's been 17.4 million users. That's a lot. So marijuana contains THC, and its effects begin almost immediately. Your heart rate increases, your bronchial passages relax and become enlarged, your blood vessels in your eyes expand, and that's what makes the eyes look red. THC binds to cannabinoid receptors, and those are CBRs, and they interfere with a part of the brain that controls pleasure, memory, thinking, concentration, movement, coordination, and sensory and time perception. That is a lot of things that it interferes with. It increases appetite, and after euphoria wears off, relaxation occurs. Individuals that smoke large amounts of marijuana may experience acute psychosis. So what's the problem? Government is looking into legalizing recreational marijuana. So medical marijuana is already legal. So it's been proven that it helps people with different diseases, and doctors prescribe it and give it out in medicine. But now the government is looking into legalizing recreational marijuana, which may not be such a great idea. So conflict theory. Conflict theory is a sociology theory that deals with conflicts between different social classes. The groups that would have conflicts with recreational marijuana being illegal are those that do marijuana. Most likely these people are of a lower class in society. And I think that, and I say that because people of a low class are more likely to turn to drugs to either gain money or to de-stress about their finances. The groups that would have conflicts with it being legalized are those that don't do it. These people are more likely to be middle to upper class, and I say that because people that already have money, they're less likely to go and sell drugs or get into drugs because, they don't need to. I've never heard of somebody who's already rich going and being a drug dealer. Like, that, that just doesn't happen. These people might also be religious, and they might not smoke marijuana for religious reasons. And the age that is most targeted is the youth in society today. They are either encouraged or discouraged from participating in smoking marijuana based on media, friends, or family. And marijuana is a plant, so there is an abundant source of it. The main problem legalizing it is that the government isn't sure how to tax it or how to test for it. Like, for an example, when say you're driving and a policeman pulls you over and it's like, have you been drinking tonight? And they'll give you a breathalyzer test to see if you've been drinking. So the government isn't sure how to do that with marijuana. They haven't come up with a device to really check for it. And they also say it's hard to regulate because it is a plant and it can be grown everywhere. So structural functionalism. Structural functionalism is a sociology concept that says that everyone and everything in society is set there for a reason. That everyone has a specific place and position, and if something were to be added or taken away, the system would be corrupted. The functions of this social problem are how legalizing recreational marijuana would affect society and whether it would be negative or positive. Keeping recreational marijuana illegal eases the part of society that wish for it to stay illegal. In retrospective, it also enrages the parts of society that don't see any problem with it being legal. The worry with legalizing recreational marijuana is that young kids would grow up with seeing it on an everyday basis in stores. They would become desensitized. This could send the message that doing drugs is okay, which might lead to the idea that doing harder drugs is also okay. So symbolic interactionism is a sociology concept that says that people associate symbols with different things or issues in society. Recreational marijuana is associated with the words weed, dope, pot, Mary Jane, dung, or blunt. And society associates people that smoke marijuana as low-life, dirty people. And that's not quite accurate, because there's a lot of people that look great and they seem like they're doing fine, and they are not dirty, they are clean, and from the outside you wouldn't think that they smoke, but they do. So it goes both ways. And they associate the pot leaf with the act of smoking marijuana, and the church looks at this social problem by encouraging the members to refer to the word of wisdom. We are not to judge those that use their agency to participate in this act, but we are not to participate in it ourselves. There is a huge difference in how those that do smoke marijuana are treated in society for those that choose not to. But if we follow the example of Christ, we know that we must love them regardless. So what's the solution? The solution that I came up with is that marijuana shouldn't be legalized. I feel like as members of the church, we have an obligation to stand up for what is right. No, the Word of Wisdom says that Word of Wisdom says you shouldn't do it. So if you have faith in Christ, you have faith in this church, you know and believe it's true, then you have to vote against it. There's no way that you can vote for it and still say that you believe in the Word of Wisdom. It just contradicts itself. So marijuana has been proven that it is a substitute drug, which may result in less alcohol-related deaths. So scientifically, possibly, if everything goes right, legalizing marijuana could lead to some good things in society. Less deaths. That's great. But that doesn't account for the harder drugs that people may try because they tried marijuana, which is also results in death. So, people, when I was doing my research, I kept hearing people say that marijuana isn't a gateway drug. Like, no way, it's not, But I just couldn't help but think that there's no way I can believe that, because, one, if you are buying from a drug dealer, you know where to get marijuana. That drug dealer is going to try to get you to buy harder drugs. Why not? More money on him, right? So, you may say no the first couple of times, but eventually, if you're tempted enough, you probably will say yes. It's the same thing in the gospel. We're told, don't watch rated-R movies. Don't get in situations where you're going to be tempted. Don't go to the party when there's going to be drinking there. If all possible, avoid those temptations. Because what those temptations are, you're more than likely to give in. We're not perfect. And the same thing goes with doing marijuana. Based on that evidence, I can't really agree that marijuana isn't a gateway drug. So I encourage you to stand for what is right. Take a stand today. You have to think about your children and what they're going to see in the future. If you're okay with them seeing marijuana being sold in stores, then okay for you. But I know for me, I don't think I could do that. I don't even like the fact that it's here, but then let alone seeing it in stores when I go grocery shopping and then have my own children see it. I don't want them to be thinking that it's okay. And so you got to take a stand. And you have to be willing to stand for what is right. You have to ask yourself, will you or won't you? So that is the end of my presentation, and I hope you've been enlightened just like I have through doing this. Here are my sources, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day.